Hi there, happy Friday. So, I hope all of you all had a very happy Thanksgiving yesterday. Speaking of Thanksgiving and family, this topic for this week is going to be about family dynamics and when your family has a different career path than you have for yourself and how you would handle that. Because I know that happens a lot when we're younger, we grow up, we have different thoughts about what we want to do that are different from our parents, and sometimes it can create a little rift within the family. So there are 4 points that I want to discuss about that and sort of some ways that you can combat that and deal with it. So first, I want you to understand when your family has a career path that they've chosen for you. And each family is completely different, right? No family is cookie cutter. But traditionally, most families push certain careers like medicine, like law, engineering, teaching, because they view those fields as being stable, also being respectable and financially reliable, right? So this pressure often comes from a place of love and protection. Normally, like I said, each family is different. So some families don't want to control you. They're just, they want to protect you and love on you. Some families, it can come from a place of control. That's altogether different, but it can be dealt with. So parents may be trying to secure their child's future based on what they knew growing up, even if the world has changed a bit, right? So they tend to push those safe careers for those reasons that I just mentioned. And you on the receiving end, or the person on the receiving end, your job is simply to acknowledge their intentions, right? And you basically want to say, hey, first, I want you to know that I understand why you're encouraging these career paths for me, right? You want me to be stable, you want me to be safe, and you want me to be successful, right? And I truly appreciate that. You let that be known. I know that your suggestions come from love and experience and not from a desire to control me. So you get that out there with your family if you have the kind of family that you can go ahead and be open to that point. All right. And then second, conflict between personal identity and external expectations. That's something that's that's the tug of war that you have with your family about the differences, right? So that family pressure can lead into internal conflict, right? So you could feel that you're torn between who you are and who you're expected to be, right? So that tension can show up many different ways. It can show up as guilt from you wanting to do something different than your family wants you to do. It can show up as fear or disappointing your loved ones. It can also show up as self-doubt within you about whether your own dreams are even good enough, right? You start second guessing yourself like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. And then this can also hinder your authentic self-discovery process that you have for figuring stuff out. And it could delay your true path that you were meant to be on, like your purpose, right? So in this situation, you feel torn between your own dreams and, well, between their dreams and then your authentic path that you would like to be on, or that you're figuring out that feels good, how you can make your footing in this world. Okay. So a way to deal with that with your family is to gently, and I use that word in air quotes, gently express your identity to your family. You let them know, during this process of self-discovery, I'm learning who I am and I'm learning what I am good at, right? So I'm discovering what kind of work actually fits me, and I'm learning to build a career that aligns with my strengths as well as my passions, right? And then let them know, hey, your dreams do matter, but at the same time, my dreams do matter too, right? Because it can't be all or nothing. We have to have, we're both in this somehow. You're my family, I'm who I am, right? And then this is a big one, number 3. A big one to me is about emotional strain, because this can do stuff to us physically, emotionally. So emotional strain is real, right? So that pressure can lead to anxiety. It can lead to burnout, or it can lead to just losing your passion for your goals altogether, right? So it's important that you share that emotional impact without blame, right? And you let them know, hey, when I try to move in a direction that doesn't match who I am, it's stressful for me. And you let them know, you speak in the I language. Make sure that you articulate that clearly. Because you're part of the communication. Remember, a part of the sales core 4, never let it be on you. You express it clearly and let them know, this is how this makes me feel when I'm pushed to do something that's not fitting, or something that's not joyful to what I want to do, or not meaningful, right? And you let them know, I want to do something that I'm not just going to survive in. I want to do something that I'm going to thrive in, right? So it's not just something that looks on paper. I want to be fulfilled, right? And then you let them know, as a part of that, fulfillment is also a part of stability, because, you are living out your purpose, you're doing things that are passionate to you. And you let them know, I want to choose something that I can do with joy and commitment, right? If you have a reasonable family, they will listen. All families are not the same, as I stated before. And then lastly, boundaries, right? So boundaries and communication bring freedom, right? So you make sure you have those clear conversations. So this ties back into what the emotional strain piece of it. You have to be really clear with your communication. This helps families to understand and eventually to even support your choices after you have given that clear presentation. But without that, they will have no rationale, because they're not mind readers, and what they're pushing on you, but they need to know how this is making you feel, right? So how can you combat this? So with those boundaries, you're going to build trust through transparency. So what do I mean about transparency? You want to bring them in the fold of what you're thinking and your plans, to make it seem like, hey, you guys are a part of this too. You're my family, whatever. So you let them know. So I love to share my plan with you. And just say, they're going to think, oh God, they thought about this. Yeah, I put some thought into it. And let them know, hey, I've done a little bit of research. I've done some steps. I've taken some steps, and where I see myself, and also where this could be going. So, and let them know, I'm not ignoring your guidance, right? I'm simply building a different strategy, right? And then let them know also, I want us to be on the same team, right? So even if my direction isn't the direction that you originally pictured for me, I want to include you to let you know how this gives me a sense of purpose, a sense of fulfillment and joy, as well as, creating my own path. So, like I said, different cultures, different makeups. And like I said earlier with the first point, a lot of families that push like certain careers, they could have gone through an extreme amount of struggle, and they don't want their offspring or their family to go through the same struggles that they went through. So they're telling you what they know. If you can do this, you can, have minimal struggle. You can have like some kind of financial security, some kind of stability. So just make sure that you hear them, but also create that platform where they hear you as well. So anyway, this has been a video on family dynamics, on when you all have differing career paths. So I hope this has resonated with someone that has either had this conversation with their family or knows someone that is going through that conversation, or someone is doing something completely different than what their family wants them to do currently. So I hope some of these points and strategies can help. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday and a great rest of your weekend. Take care and be well.